really sorry I could not be with you today due to the pandemic. I do apologize for that. Today we'll be talking about the negative consequences of hormonal imbalance and how to fix it. This presentation is based on a published article by myself. Actually, there is a number of articles, up to 21 articles that I have written on these subjects and a book. Hormones fluctuate with lifestyle, age, nutrition, and health status. Hormonal imbalance appears to be the best defense against all disease, including viral infections. Symptoms of hormonal imbalance include mood swings, low libido, headaches, night sweats, food craving, and weight gain. Food cravings and weight gain, acne, insomnia, and of course, low energy. Excess adiposity leads to fatty liver and insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, inflammation, thyroid, a number of different conditions. We used a new technology and our results on fatty liver after 15 treatments on 11 subjects on sonography reports were no fatty liver at all. Fatty liver previously, no fatty liver after. Thyroid never comes along. It leads to heart disease, diabetes, another metabolic syndrome, a lot of different problems. Atherosclerosis is also a result of hormonal imbalance, and that's when you see the VLDL, the cholesterol, that is very prominent in that disease. Also, very low density lipoprotein, the VLDL, is seen in diabetes mellitus. So hormonal imbalance is connected with all of these diseases. Cardiovascular consequences of cortisol excess has gained a lot of attention and a lot of articles have been published on it. Also, cortisol secretion in patients with type 2 diabetes has also been quite popular in many scholars have written about cortisol and diabetes, and type 2 diabetes. Leptin and ghrelin are very interesting hormones because they regulate hunger and appetite. So when there is an increased ghrelin and decreased leptin, when the balance of leptin and ghrelin is disturbed, you're constantly hungry. There is also when toxicity also increases hunger. So also it overloads and compromises hepatic detoxification, and toxicity promotes insulin and leptin resistance. So, but the most important thing is that the more toxic you are, the more hungry you are. Peripheral neuropathy in feet, reduced blood flow, damaged nerves, has to do with elevated triglycerides. COVID-19 is the most popular subject. And what happens is that the spike protein connects to the ACE2 receptors, and that's how it releases its contents into our cells. Well, what happens is that the fat contains more ACE2 receptors than muscle. Muscle contains the least. So the more muscular you are, the more protected you are from COVID-19. And I wrote a book that is related to this subject, Checkmate by a Protein Invisible Enemy. Exercise balances hormones, and it's easy to exercise when you're young and fit. Not so easy when you have accumulated weight or when you're old. Increased inflammation with exercise has been noted. So muscle-derived interleukin-6 has been shown after excessive exercise. So exercise is good, but exercise, very strenuous exercise, may bring the opposite effects, may be counterproductive. And IL-6, interleukin-6, has been observed in obese individuals, in smokers, visceral obesity, atherosclerosis, aging, non-insulin dependent diabetics, and cardiovascular mortality. Very important. Testosterone deficiency is also correlated with cardiovascular disease and other clinical symptoms. A raise in inflammatory markers is accompanied by both free and total testosterone suppression. So the higher the inflammation, the more suppressed the testosterone is. So all the males, higher mortality rates from COVID-19 may be related to the testosterone decline with age. There is an issue here. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. There is a sort of relationship between the two of them. And exercise, because you put a lot of effort, it increases cortisol. And then your testosterone goes down. And then it's like a vicious circle because you never kind of lose weight. And this is probably why people, when they work out at the 50 years age, they don't really drop the visceral fat. You see, the visceral fat is not dropped. You're never going to become like this if you're working, you're 50 years old and you work out. So probably the testosterone has a major problem, plays a big part in this. The testosterone plays a big part in this. We did a number of studies. This is the design from one of them. We've done up to 21 clinical studies, and I wrote the book based on a different number of studies. This is we tested subjects before 20 treatments with blood tests, sonography reports, with sonograms, blood tests, sonograms, and also tape measurements and a scale measurement that gave us the BMI and other variables. This is one of the subjects that participated in our study from India. This is subject 1 treatment from Indonesia. This is another subject, only 1 treatment from Indonesia. This is a clinic from Iran that provides us certain patients, that provide us with research, with clinical research. That's 5 treatments. That's 3 treatments. Again, another study from this is from Indonesia. What we found is that the results on testosterone and cortisol for each subject were actually the opposite of what you get with exercise. There was an average testosterone percentage increase of 42.23% and a decrease in cortisol of minus 18.42%. It's exactly what you basically want. You don't want the cortisol to increase, you want it to decrease. Then we looked at BMI, and there was a BMI decrease of 5 points, 579, 6 points. There are different clinics now giving us different data. IGF-1 was increased by 16%, and the mean average muscle mass was increased by 23.13%. That's one of the studies. In another study, we saw the triglycerides decreased by minus 58.3%, and the very low density lipoprotein by minus 54%. Remember, we spoke about all the problems that triglyceride, the neuropathic problems that excess triglyceride produces, and also the VLDL, how is involved in atherosclerosis and diabetes. Leptin and ghrelin, we had some good balance here. The leptin increase was plus 10.82%, and the decrease was minus 7.35%. So appetite was normal, but no sweet cravings. Visceral fat, in a different study, we found a decrease of minus 18.21%, and at T3, the metabolism increase, which is very important because it can lead to all kinds of other problems like cardiovascular disease and diabetes, was plus 68.81%. All of these results were significant, both with t-tests and the analysis of variance. These are another study that we completed with 21 subjects. That was diabetics and pre-diabetics. And what you see, that all diabetic subjects became pre-diabetic or normal after the 20 treatments. And all pre-diabetic subjects, or most of them, became normal except for 2. So that's a very, very good result. Again, there was fatty liver that we looked at, and there was fatty liver before treatments and no fatty liver after the treatments. Triglycerides decrease was minus 22.88%, And the increase in HDL, which is the good cholesterol, was 30.34%. The T3 significantly increased, and the CRP, which is the most accurate inflammatory marker, decreased by minus 37.88%. So that's very good results. We had, of course, BMI significantly decreased, overall fat, visceral fat, and skeletal muscle increased by 28% in this particular study. And again, all of these results were very statistically significant. This is some of, my book that is now selling on Amazon and other sites. And these are some of the articles that I have authored along with other scholars. Some more of the articles that I have authored. All of these articles are related in the research that I cited. Some more articles. And with this, I would like to thank you for your kind attention. If you do have any questions, please email me at science@ielios.com. I will immediately answer your email. Thank you so much.